Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So on this episode, we're going to do some updates on my Camaro for the 2025 race season. Stick around. You're watching the Vasco Speed Performance YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is. It's so loud.
Okay, so we got the Camaro over here. It's dirty as heck. I haven't even washed it since the last time I raced it. I'm bad about that. I need to get better about it. But this is my 1999 Camaro. It is, I've had this car since high school. It was my high school graduation gift for my parents. When I first got it, it was a T56 manual car. And then over the years, it's switched into, I had a 383 at one time, and now it's a rods and pistons 5.3 with stock crank, stock heads, and 85 millimeter turbo. And then the turbo kit I've switched over the years. But yeah, so this is it. It's got an 850 cage. We ran a best of an 880 in it, at Flying H last fall. So yeah, but we're gonna do some work on this thing. So let's get to it. Okay, so I got the Camaro up on the lift, and the first thing we're going to tackle is the anti-roll bar. So this is a TRZ anti-roll bar that's on here, and it works great, no complaints. The issue I had was when I put it on, I didn't know that it wasn't going to allow the exhaust to go back over. So in order to make it work, I had to make this bar go up and over, up there and down, so that we had a solid place to connect the links to on it. So I went ahead and purchased another one of these just as a builder kit, and I'm going to move these brackets out further and have these links attached right here to the frame, and then I can take this bar out, and it should allow me to have the exhaust go back over. So we're gonna start working on that now. Okay, so the pain in the butt part is over with, cutting those off. I was gonna try and reuse the brackets, but they kind of got mangled up in the process of getting off there, which I thought might happen. Not a big deal. I can always make new ones or buy new ones. So we're going to end up using the brand new ones on this project and save the old anti-roll bar for another project. So the next thing we need to do is, now that we've got these plates cleaned up, we're going to get our width for our anti-roll bar and then place the brackets, and then we'll work on the rest of it. So stick around. Okay, so these are the factory frame rails. It's a unibody car, but we're gonna call them frame rails. So they're about 3 inches wide. Where I want it to land is about in the middle of that. So about 1.5 inches from the edge of here to there is where we needed to go at. So I measured from the other mark that I made to this frame rail, and we came up with the 33 1/4. So that's about the center of where we want our arms to be on our anti-roll bar. So we're gonna go over to the fab table, tack that together, and kind of come up with that. Okay, so I've got the bar all measured out. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, but I have this fab table that I got, so I really, really like it for things like this, because you can lay both of your arms flat, and you know they're going to be parallel with each other. Everything's going to work good. So I found center line of the bar. That's what this is. And then I measured over here, and I measured over here, and that is 33 1/4 divided by 2 comes to 16.25. So that's where we're at with those. And then we can put these up to these machinist blocks and get them square. So what we'll do is we'll tack each one of these on, and then that'll give our spacing, and we can slide our ends on for when we go to put it onto the rear end once we find center of the rear end. So I'm going to tack these real quick, and then we'll move back over to the car. Okay, so it might seem kind of silly, but I've got this really thick piece of plate steel because I figured, hey, let's get it on the same plane as this. The issue is there's a little bit of a difference to it, so not a huge deal. But nevertheless, I found out where they both need to go. That's where they're gonna be. So we are going to just tack it, make sure everything looks good, and then we'll fully weld it in. But the good news is this anti-roll bar is bolt-in, so if you need to unbolt it and take it out, you can service it, but that'll make it easier to take it apart and weld it and make sure everything's good. So I'm gonna get to doing some tacking, and then we will see what the progress looks like after that. Okay, so I found out the measurement from here to here needs to be about 3.5 inches. So I measured 3.5 inches here, 3.5 inches here. I had to, manipulate this tack a couple times to get it to pull over and get it to be square like I wanted it to. I did the same over here on this side, so we should be good and it should be centered. So I'm going to take the brackets off, put the anti-roll bar in and make sure everything's good. And then if it is, then we will fully weld all that in and we will be done with the anti-roll bar on the rear end side. Then all we have to do is put the tabs on. So let's see how it fits. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is we need to attach our anti-roll bar links. We're gonna put those on this plate up here. The new anti-roll bar came with brackets, but they're designed to go onto like a curved tube. So we're probably gonna just make some other tabs, not a huge deal. So we're gonna get the anti-roll bar tabs on. When we do that, we like to use race ramps. So I've got 4 of these pedestals that the car will set on the tires. So we will lower the car down onto those and have it at ride height, and then make sure that we have enough room for these to bolt up. And as long as they do, then we should be good. We might have to make custom ones because they might be a little bit longer, but well, let's get to doing that. Okay, so the car is on the race ramp pedestals. Weight is off of the lift, so now we can crawl up underneath here and make sure our links are gonna work, which hopefully they do. Oh yeah, that'll work perfect. And ideally you want these to be flat with the ground, so we're gonna just try to make them close, and then they're adjustable so you can adjust from there, but we might have to end up making custom brackets that come out just a little further. We probably should have went with the 6-inch arms instead of the 5-inch, but it is what it is. We'll make it work. The only other thing after we put these on, we will have to set the anti-roll bar with the driver in the car. That would be me. And we also need to recheck our pinion angle for our torque arm bar, since we did put a new mount on the front, and I've been kind of having a vibration when driving at like highway speed, so I think that it's probably off anyways. So just a few last things and we'll be ready to start racing this year. It's pretty exciting. So with the spring coming up, I'm trying to get the Camaro ready for race season. So one of the things that always bugged me was the exhaust on it was super loud because it just dumps underneath the car. So in the past I had full exhaust on it. I really liked it. So I'm planning on putting the full exhaust back on. I'm going to document that and show you everything about it. So here's the exhaust that I'm dealing with. It's 4-inch aluminum. It's 4-inch stainless up to here, and then it comes through the K-member. It has a V-band right there just so I can get it out, and then there's another V-band right here, and this V-band here is half stainless, half aluminum, so it goes to aluminum, comes through here, and then before I had the exhaust going all the way out the back. Well, with the inner roll bar here now, it'll attach to these frame rails rather than this flimsy sheet metal. So now I can put my exhaust back over, which would be really, really nice. I'm really excited about having full exhaust in this car again. But anyways, so this is the new bar that I've made, and this is where the torque arm mounts. And this is similar to the way it was before. Obviously, it's just not mounted to these flimsy things anymore. So if you kind of look at this, you can see how much it's bowed up, and it's just taking this and it's shoving it up. And then over here, it's like completely smashed up flat. So with this car, weighs like 3,700 pounds with me in it. So it's not light by any means. And I'm pretty sure that's what's causing these to just push up, because this torque arm's trying to pull up the whole time. But yeah, so this is my new setup. It's just tacked, so I will fully weld this. I had to cut out part of this to make it work, but it's gonna go from subframe connector to subframe connector, and then we will cut this off, this turn down, because this exhaust is horrible as you saw in the video, and we are going to make the exhaust go 4-inch all the way out the back. So now that this is kind of tacked in, I'm going to work on getting the drive shaft safety loop put back on it, and then we can work on the exhaust and get this all welded up and make more progress. Shafts in, drive shaft safety loops in. I actually went ahead and moved this bracket over a little bit because you can see right here, it was rubbing on here and here actually because the this whole cross brace was actually back a little bit more. So it would rub under these specific spots. So I actually did some maneuvering, moving some stuff around, but I think it turned out pretty decent. I didn't paint this area because I think I'm going to put a bracket to help support the exhaust. So that's kind of that, but we've got this crossbar comes across here, goes down over to there. We welded it all the way around there as best we could. We welded it to here, welded it to there. We went ahead and welded it to there, obviously over there. So I think we're good. So now we're working on the exhaust. I got the old turn down cut off. It was so loud. So here's what I'm kind of thinking. So the exhaust is going to come something like this and then go back to here, but I'm going to put a V-band right in this vicinity. The reason being that way you can take it apart. So I'm going to have this straight piece come forward just a little bit. That way the V-band has a little bit more clearance. So I'll set up the time lapse and we'll get cranking on some exhaust.
Who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am.
Okay, so this is how the exhaust looks on the car. Got to put a V-band there. Actually, I probably won't go there. I'll probably fully weld it and I'll probably put the V-band offset somewhere, but it's here nor there. Made this bracket here to hold up the exhaust there. I also made one over here. And this is just some 1/2-inch aluminum rod I got from like Home Depot just to get it hung up there and have that done. And then the exhaust comes up 4-inch, clears here, and it runs all the way up here. I put a bracket here to help stabilize it, to keep it from rattling against there. And then you got a V-band here so you can take it apart and up to there. So I'm really, really excited to see how this all sounds and make sure it doesn't have any rattles or anything. And I'll be able to drive this car in peace. So super excited about it. So maybe this is the old man in me, but next video we'll have of it. Hopefully we have that V-band pretty soon and we can do some driving and see how it sounds. Okay, so I did some looking around the shop and what do you know? I happened to find a 4-inch V-band. So went ahead and got the 4-inch V-band on there, and now the exhaust is done. It's got a little bit of movement to it. It's got that tip coming up. It just kind of like barely you can see it, which makes me excited. Wow, I've been wanting this for so long. So it might hit a little right in there, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. I think it'll be pretty good. So all we got to do left for racing season is we got to put this links for the anti-roll bar on. We can get those attached, and then she's good to go. So let's put some links on it and fire it up. Okay, I had to play contortionist for a second, but we got that got the ECM connected. So let's see how she sounds. So I had a few people asking, they wanted some more information on the Citation that we did the turbo kit on. So I figured I'd go over some stuff. It's got all Mustang 2 front suspension. And like I said, Dennis Taylor, he did all of the chassis work on it. So I don't know everything about it, but I will fill you in on what I can see. It's got a Turbo 400 in it. The tunnel has been sheet metaled in. He did a really, really good job with it. Put seam seal on it and everything. Looks really, really great. And then it's got a ladder bar set up on it. And then it's got a 8.8 out of a Ford of some sort. I would assume it doesn't have the upper ears, so it was probably a leaf spring rear end at one time. So yeah. Then they've got their transcooler back here, their fuel pump mounted. So this is a work in progress. They're still going to get it back and have to do some stuff when we get done with it. We went ahead and added these braces on here because if you looked at it, it was just kind of open and free air. So we thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a little extra support. So we went ahead and did that. Then as you can see, the turbo kit comes down through here. Got our wastegates dumping down here. And then over here is our downpipe. And we put a stainless steel mount on it. And then we trimmed up as much as possible to get this to hang up, to get it to tuck up to, as tight as possible to the bottom of the car, simply because there's not a whole lot of ground clearance as it is. So, but yeah, that's pretty much everything with it. It's got an 850 cage in it. So it's going to go back to the owners and they are going to work on putting it back together and do some drag and drives with it. So make sure you look for it out on some drag and drives. If you guys need any HVAC stuff done, hit up Colin Mechanical. It's my brother-in-law. He just started his own business. He's getting going. Got this brand new truck. We're going to be building a ladder rack for it soon. But yeah, if you need anything. Good. So Kyle's working on this AC thing here. I don't know.
It's called a heat pump, Bradley.
Heat pump. Okay. There you go. Well, he's working on that. But Kyle's also got a boat, so we'll be having some of his boat on the content also. So if you guys are into boats, stick around. We'll be doing some work on the boat. But yeah, we'll let Kyle get back to what he's doing. But if you need any HVAC stuff, hit up Colin Mechanical. What all do you do, Kyle?
Heating, cooling for residential and commercial properties.
Okay, well, if you need it, there you go. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I really appreciate everybody coming by the channel. It really means a lot to me. You guys just watching, that's all I'm trying to do is just get out there so everybody can kind of see what we do, what kind of work we do. We kind of do, fabrication, turbo kits, wiring, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, if you can, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you think the exhaust out the back was cool? Is there anything that you would have changed, you would have done differently? I'm an old man, so I like the exhaust way out the back. It's lightweight, it's aluminum, it's easy to take apart. So I'm really excited about it. It's one of those things I've been wanting to do for a while, and now that it's done, I'm going to enjoy the heck out of it. So a little bit up on a couple other episodes that we're going to be doing. So one episode is going to be where we're talking about our shop car. So we haven't released what it is, but we kind of have a game plan. It's going to be a street car. It has to have a radiator. If it doesn't have a radiator and you can't drive it on the street, I don't really have a use for it. I mean, drag cars are cool, but I want to be able to drive it on the street. That's my jam. So there's that. It's going to have a decent amount of cage in it. So you guys are going to get to see us putting a cage in it. So if you haven't seen a cage put in a car, stick around. We'll be doing that. We're not for sure on what power plant we're going to go with. Ideally, we'd like to do this on somewhat of a budget, but you know how race cars are. They usually get blown out of proportion pretty quick. But yeah, so we're kind of open to ideas. So we're going to start off with the chassis on it, and we're going to do that kind of stuff, and then leave the engine option open, transmission option open. I can tell you right now, it's probably not going to get a manual. We'll probably get a 400 or a Powerglide, but maybe you guys can help us decide on some of those things. So stick around for that. That'll be a cool episode. Also, next week is going to be a really, really cool episode. So we don't do this a lot, but we are actually going out of town. So we are going to the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida. So our good friend Joey Heichel, aka the Beater Bomb, he has invited us down, and what he's going to be doing is he's helping Cletus McFarland, Garrett, put on a race at Bradenton Motorsports Track. So what it is it's a back half track race where they're going to go to the back of the track and race. It's going to be quote unquote a no prep kind of deal. And what's going to be is it's 16 all-wheel drive versus 16 rear-wheel drive cars. So Joey is the team leader of the rear-wheel drive. So we're going to be down there rooting for Joey and all the rear-wheel drive guys, and hopefully we can take home that win. So stick around and look up for the next episode. Thanks, guys.